Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we are on the Pioneer server. We're going to be showing off Cryonaia in action in the Thalassa Dream Realm boss. I've made it up to hell difficulty. I've given even charms to the key heroes we're going to be trying today. We're basically wanting to see, do the Cryonaia teams with the twins, is that going to get a higher damage compared to Talene with the twins? And then also I want to try to compare Cryonaia with no twins compared to twins with no Cryonaia to try and give a good evaluation of the strength of Cryonaia. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we have a Dream Realm boss where Cryonaia is going to be shining, because as you guys know, Thalassa can only be attacked by long range heroes, and so Cryonaia has basically her best chance of being a good option in this boss. For other bosses, it isn't going to work as well. The other thing is that Cryonaia has great synergy with Odie, because Odie's damage per second, that is going to continuously apply even during the duration of the frozen domain, and that is just free value because other heroes do not have that great synergy with Cryonaia. It's mainly Bonnie and Odie who have that synergy, and because Thalassa, the top team, is already using Odie, Cryonaia is basically the perfect addition to that. So we're going to go ahead and show off. This is the team comp that we're going to be using. Basically, the overall top team on the global server today is going to be the same lineup. However, it has Talene rather than Cryonaia. We've just replaced that position with Cryonaia here. We have charms on a lot of our heroes. I could get the smoky charms, but I don't think it really matters much. And we're going to go for the blade summon, which is the overall top artifact choice. Here we go, guys. Wish us luck. Let's see what can happen. Now, we're going to pay close attention because there is something I want to comment on. The twins, of course, will have great synergy with Cryonaia because it can allow her to cast more ultimates. And there we go. Cryonaia casting her first ultimate. And that's going to be 12-second freeze duration, freeze time. But the thing is, in total, we're going to only be able to freeze the clock for up to 30 seconds. So now we cast a second ultimate. That is another 12 seconds of the freeze. Both Cryonaia's damage as well as Odie's damage is going off right here. And now we're going to finally cast... Okay, we're going to kill the boss before we can even cast it. But we would have casted our final ultimate, and in that it is going to have only 6 seconds of freezing of the clock, and after that another 6 seconds while Cryonaia is in her ultimate where the clock is still ticking down. That is the major issue with Cryonaia. It's all well and good when she is freezing time and just adding free damage to your team. The problem arises when, if she casts her ultimate too many times, it still is going to enter that domain where only she is attacking the boss, but the time is still going to be ticking down, and you wouldn't like that because you would prefer your other heroes to keep attacking. And so people are thinking, for a lot of bosses, if you're going to run Cryonaia, you'd have to run it with Harok and have Harok devour her after she casts 1 or 2 ultimates to get off her value. And that is like kind of like a really weird sort of min-maxing team strategy. But okay, we're going to get right into, this is the team that we're going to try first of all. I'm excited to see it. But yeah, for pre-endless bosses, I think Cryonaia is going to be very good. We can take a look at the damage chart of that hell clear that we just did. But Cryonaia's damage output is going to be very high for pre-endless bosses, just like Odie's is, for example, because she has high multipliers, she has a huge attack buff in her frozen domain, and she allows Odie's damage over time to keep ticking, and Odie is such a great damage dealer. So basically, Cryonaia plus Odie for pre-endless bosses along with Rainier, this is probably going to be meta for almost all of the bosses. We're not going to be able to see that this time around this season because we're going to move on to endless by the time Cryonaia is out and built up by people. Okay, so watch this here. Now, I think this is going to be... Is this going to be our third ultimate cast from Cryonaia? Yeah, it is, because look at this. The timer is still ticking down even when we go into the ultimate of Cryonaia, and that is a problem. Like that, then it's like not just free value. In fact, you're denying the rest of your team from attacking the boss. Now, for here, it's fine because Odie's damage is still ticking per second. And there we go. We got over 38 billion damage. I think that is one of the top positions, top for 14 rank. And Cryonaia did a huge amount of damage along with Odie. And part of Cryonaia's damage output was the fact that the freeze time continuously allowed Odie's damage over time to keep ticking. So Cryonaia's best allies are Odie, to apply the damage over time, Rainier, to have the debuff to cause a boss to take increased damage from both Rainier and, or from both Odie and Cryonaia, and then also the twins just to give the haste buff and to give energy if you can. But yeah, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna try the same team comp, but we're gonna say, let's say you don't have the twins, right? and you want to run Cryonaia. Okay, I'm going to try like this and see what happens here. We have Rainier Charms onto Odie, Hugin Charms onto Cryonaia, and we're going to have the Blade Summon spell. Oh, actually, we can go for like this. Maybe this is going to be better. We're going to try like this, okay? And yeah, let's go. Let's go for this. Okay. So now we don't have the twins. We're going to have a lot of damage. Okay, Odie is teleported out of the mechanized bond of Hugin. So, but maybe Cryonaia can get into that mechanized bond if she repositions herself. Is she going to be in the mechanized bond? It looks like she is, right? 70 seconds left. 17 billion damage already. Yeah, but this is not going to be very representative of how she will do for the other bosses, because in the other bosses, like Harak teams are good, Freyasu teams are good. Thalassa is a very unique case where Odie was already the best damage dealer, and Cryonaia is just going to come on top of that and get even more value, squeeze even more value out of this comp by like having that freeze, more damage over time. This might even be better than the twins. I don't think so, it doesn't look like it. However, this is doing really well. And honestly, even in the twins comp, there's probably some room for like optimization, because there wasn't even the stellar bond active on Cryonaia to increase her damage output. But looking at this is pretty crazy. 35.2 billion. And now what we're going to do is we're going to show you the twins comp without Cryonaia. So basically we're going to go for this same formation and just swap out Cryonaia for Talene. That is basically the way people are running it. And we're going to go ahead and do the battle, because Talene is another option here. However, really it seems like to me Talene is going to be the hardest hit by Cryonaia coming into this game, because Talene was good for pre-endless Dreamon bosses and decent in some endless bosses. Cryonaia is just basically an overall better damage dealer version of Talene. That's what it seems like. And so so Talene is basically being even harder power crept in Dream Realm content than she already was before. And even before, she wasn't like considered a top tier option. But I do not think Cryonaia is power creeping Harak. I still think that the overall top teams are going to be involving Harak up until we get Mythic Charms, in which case I think things could be very different. Wow, look at this. So this is getting an even better score, right? And this is without Cryonaia, okay? A lot better. Okay, and our Talene isn't even boosted in levels compared to the Cryonaia. So it looks like Cryonaia is actually not the best option for Endless, even in the Odie comp. That is very interesting, and that is very important to note, because honestly speaking, I thought this was going to be her best chance, but you guys saw the major issue, which is that it's great when she's freezing time, but then in her subsequent ultimate cast, she's not going to be freezing time anymore, and she's just denying the rest of your team from doing their attacks, and then it is just not value. Because Cryonaia, she doesn't deal true damage, she doesn't deal HP per second damage, so even though her damage looks pretty high, it just is not high enough. It's going to be good for pre-endless, setting up execution onto the bosses, as well as just the raw damage, which is valuable for pre-endless, but for endless, where you have massive defenses, massive damage reduction, that is when your true damage dealers, HP per second damage dealers, are going to be better. Wow, that was really interesting, that the Twins team did even better than Cryonaia. But Cryonaia did well, don't get me wrong. However, honestly, nothing on the Talene team as of right now. 15.8 billion from Cryonaia, a lot lower from Talene, but it just allowed the Odie to put in the work, right? And so overall that was better. Maybe there's going to be a different formation that does better for Cryonaia, but that was interesting to see. And when we look at Hell Mode, Odie and Cryonaia kind of tied in terms of damage. And again, Talene would do fine here as well. So that is the thing. Overall, my opinion on Cryonaia is that she is going to be very niche for endless Dreamon bosses. For pre-endless, I have a feeling she is going to be a pretty good option. But again, there is that problem that she is going to deny the rest of your team from getting their attacks in. And that is a problem. Like, that is a major issue. It just doesn't feel right when that happens. And we tried a team without the Twins, that did worse. So the Twins are definitely still needed, even in the Cryonaia comp. But I think we got a lot of useful information from this video. Basically, my opinion is that Cryonaia does not look like a top tier Dream Realm hero. Twins are still it if you're going for Dream Realm, and I know people are saying, well, for free-to-play players, you're never going to catch up to pay-to-win players, so how can you even compete in Dream Realm? The thing is, when you make it to Endless in level 800, which is the cap, after that, the additional levels hardly contribute anything. So if you do have the Twins build, you have Freyasto, you're going to be ranking higher in Dream Realm once you make it to that place. But it might take you 1.5 months as a free-to-play player, maybe even a bit more than that to make it there. But then for the rest of the season, like over 2 months, you're just going to be profiting and getting the maximum rewards. So I still think that Dream Realm should be a focus for free-to-play players. I still think Twins are the most dominant. They are still going to be 8 out of 8 in all Endless bosses, all pre-Endless bosses. Rainier Mythic Plus has really shown his worth and his value. And then like heroes like Odie, Sinbad, Freyasto, eventually Shakira and Ludovic when we get their mythic charms, which will be on day 56 of the season. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to share your own thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about Cryonaia? Are there any other team comps you think that would do even better? That we didn't try potentially. However, you guys have now seen the issue with Cryonaia, and this is a big sort of sticking point for her use for Dream Realm. Now, definitely in AFK stages, she's still amazing. In PvP, she's good. However, she doesn't look like a game-breaking hero for Dream Realm, at least as of right now. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And if you guys have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe. We're on our road to 20,000 subscribers. Let's hit it before the end of the season. Thank you guys for your support. And you guys can join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. But thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.